I mean, this summer I was working back from an injury, and I kind of just realized, I mean, this is my last year here. It's such a special place, and I want to put my all into making this year great. And so just doing that every day and realizing that this game is so fun to play and having confidence in what I'm doing has just made it a really great year.
What's this rivalry been like with Cleveland State since you got here? It seems like you guys have always played some great games with each other.
Yeah, I think each year, I mean, we've had so many close games or just kind of games with meaning behind it. But just like every other game, it starts 0-0, and we prepare the same way every game. And so it's just kind of taking the breath behind it and realizing it's another game. We're going to be fine if once we're prepared and going doing what we're doing.
At the beginning of the year, you weren't starting, but kind of as the year went along, especially after Maddie went down, you got back in the starting lineup. I guess, how did you kind of go through that beginning of the season when you're not starting and you have to come off the bench, and how did that prepare you for when you get back in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think coming off the bench or starting, I mean, there's a little bit of something to each one. If you're on the bench, I think you get a feel of the game a little bit. You can see the openings. But you start, you've got your film prepared, and I don't know, you step up and play the game.
You were a star coming in here in high school, and what is it like when you go from being a star to now having to play with a group of really good players, and how has this group kind of melded together over time because you all played together for so long?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I've always watched Green Bay games. I loved coming to them and just seeing the connection that the players have and how much they give to the game. And so it's really cool. I mean, we're all from Wisconsin or Minnesota. So, I mean, I've played against Cassie. She was in my high school conference, and then we played together in AAU sometimes. So there's so many different connections that I think we've known each other for a while. And then obviously a lot of us have been here a couple of years, and we've just really grown to play together well and know who's best at what and how to score the best way or move the best way with each other.
Kayla's the new one of the group, if you will, with the coach. You've all been together so long. How is it kind of bringing the coach into that? Because you all are so comfortable and so used to playing with each other already. Did you feel like when you have a new coach come in, you kind of have to be like, okay, welcome to the group?
Yeah, I really appreciated how Kayla came in this summer. She was really open to our ideas, and so you know, we kind of said we got to meet in the middle. She's going to bring great new ideas. She's a great coach. And then there's also everything that we've been used to and taught and drilled on for the past 3-4 years. And so it was really just kind of meeting in the middle and teaching her and her teaching us, and let's find a common ground.
It seems like every week when we do this, Greg is bringing in somebody that either has won Player of the Year, Player of the Week, or is about to win Player of the Week. What is it about that group? And do you think you're the next one this week?
Oh, it's a big question. I don't know. I'm just trying to win some games. Sorry, what was the first part of the question?
Why do you think it is that it's not so one star? Mm-hmm. It seems like everybody has their moment and kind of takes advantage of it. And why do you think that is with this group?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of what we found with, and that's part of the Green Bay way. I mean, we're all dedicated, we all want to win, and we all have different ways of scoring, which makes us hard to guard. And so when we can get different people, have a double team, well, somebody else is going to step up and fill that role.
So. What has Coach Peterson-Abiad brought to this program?
Oh, she's brought so much. She has so much knowledge and dedication. I mean, she's going to make sure she gets it right. She's a great person to go talk to, has so many stories. Yeah, you can talk to her. She'll break down film with you, any workouts. She's brought a lot of value to this team.
What's she like on the bench during the game?
She's always prepared. She's always got her folder or her binder with her. So any play that they're going to run, I mean, she knows it. And she's really good at, in the moments you might need, like, I miss a shot, hey, the next one's going in. And it just is a good reminder.
Is it, you guys, you're all, I guess, 7 seniors. And there's still, obviously conference play. But is it hard not to look down the line like this is like, our last season together, and how important it is to finish this one to go to the tournament? And do you even think about that, or try not to yourself think about that, or is it just to show the importance of the season?
I'd say for the most part we don't think about it. Obviously, at some point you think about it a little bit, but it's really one game at a time because all these games matter, so you can't really look ahead to anybody.
Make no mistake about it, Callie Genke is a starter on every other team in the league, and obviously our team right now because of circumstances. But I mean, I knew coming in, watching that she got 6th Player of the Year, and just knowing what she was capable of, it's a dream to be able to bring that kid off the bench. I mean, she does so much for our team, and I think just with her length and size defensively, you can put her on any kind of matchup and feel good about it. And then offensively, the season that you can see that she's having, she's just shooting it with such confidence and gives us an inside-outside presence. I mean, what can't she do? And the fact that she's been on the floor more now has been a really positive thing for our team. I don't think it's shifted anything with her. I think she's always the type of person that I'll do whatever the team needs. And now we're like, well, the team needs you to play a lot more minutes. And she's like, okay. And she's ready from the start of the game now. So, I mean, just what a luxury to have somebody like that who's willing to do whatever we need her to do and continues game after game to produce. And with shooting the numbers that she has, the teams are now, they're trying to take her away, and she's still getting loose and still shooting the way that she is. So I commend her. What an incredible season she's having.
When you look at a player, I mean, they're stars in high school, and then when they come in here and they have to kind of accept that.
Yeah.
Role. What is it about somebody, maybe Callie specifically, personality-wise, that allows her to do that, to not get lost?
Yeah.
In why don't I have minutes? Why am I not scoring? And find their way, and then just over time, just get really good.
Yeah, it's a loaded question because I think that's it's part of the Green Bay system and the culture, and it's what they continue to recruit to over and over and over. So just because a player can score 25 a game doesn't mean that they're the right fit in this program. This program has always been built off of players who can create for themselves and create for others and be happy as long as the team has success. And you have to learn that along the way in the recruiting process. It's why the way that the recruiting has shifted now with quick transfers is going to be really challenging because typically we'd spend years getting to know these kids. And I, like Sarah Bronk, for example, on our staff, recruited all these players here. And of course, everybody on the former staff got to know them for years and years and watched how they play and watched that they didn't need to be the superstar in order to be smiling after the game. They didn't need to be the leading scorer. And once you see those qualities and you think that that person could be really successful in our program, not just because of the skill set she has, but because of the mindset she has. And I still kind of just smile when I go back and look at box scores after games or I look at our cumulative season stats and I'm thinking it could be anybody's night. I mean, we have anywhere from averaging 6 points a game to 14 points a game, and there's like 8 players in between. And it makes you really challenging to guard and to game plan for. So I think not only that, I think Callie is one example of many that we have, all of them really, who were raised the right way and who were coached even when they were young, that you're going to do the things to help the team win. And even if that means you're not the leading scorer, you don't get all the shots, you go ahead and you make winning plays and you go play defense and you go rebound and you be happy for your teammate's success. And I think that that's the culture of this program. It makes it so special.
When you're talking about the Green Bay culture, when you're putting together a coaching staff, what were you looking for coming into this?
Well, I think one of the big pieces with our coaching staff was I wanted some common ground and a bridge between the former staff and the current staff. And clearly Sarah Bronk has been a bridge in the past already between coaching staffs. And I think, her and I came in together as freshmen, we like to say, in 2007. And she has never left. And she's seen this program go to new heights, and she's seen it through different coaching styles a little bit and personalities. And one thing has remained the same, that she is phenomenal at building relationships with our players, with the recruits, with the community. And that was somebody I knew I wanted to have on the staff. And plus, her and I have a good relationship and have always stayed in touch since I graduated from here. So I think she was a huge cornerstone piece for this program to get in place with our staff. And then around me, I knew you have to know who you are. And I knew that as a young head coach, I wanted experience around me. And that's where it really, I was often searching for a former or a sitting head coach who could really guide me on the court, off the court matters, as far as leading a younger head coach. And that's where Kate Peterson-Abiad came in. And I think what a luxury it is to have her and her experience in the Horizon League of all places. She knows these teams and this league so well, and is coming back and is on our bench. And I think that her wisdom is amazing to have too. And then we have some youth on our bench too, which is, I think, great. And Shea Frederick and Liz Oswald were with me in South Dakota, and both of them coming over to now step into a little bit bigger role because of the situation our staff is in, and they're helping out and getting more game and practice experience. And I just think that we've really blended those personalities well, and I think we're hitting our stride with our staff too.
Now, did you play against Abiad's
I did.
teams? What do you remember about playing against
She beat
Cleveland
us.
State teams?
I remember she beat us. twice in the conference tournament, which we were hosting here. They beat us in the semifinals, and I remember us having to come back, and we watched the championship game, and we just watched two different teams, not ours, play on our home floor to go to the NCAA tournament. So I knew her from them. I didn't know her very well, but of course I knew of her, and I knew that their 5-out motion was really hard to guard, and she always had good athletes, and I just really liked her demeanor and how she coached, and that was kind of about it. And then when you get in the coaching world, you sort of start to cross paths. She was still at Cleveland State when I was a young assistant, and started to meet her, and you start to get to know each other on the recruiting trail. And as I got to know her and know her background, realized she had gotten out of coaching but was right here in the state and working for the WIAA. And it was just the right fit, and it was the right time. She missed coaching and wanted to get back in and develop those relationships with players. And I knew that she was somebody that I wanted to have, so really it was just a great fit.
Now that she's here, does that add a little extra juice to the Cleveland State rivalry that's been building over the years?
Yeah, I think that she's, has a lot of those mixed emotions because that's the place that she called home for a long time, and she built that program and was there for 15 years and left on her own terms. I mean, it's a dream for a lot of Division I coaches to be able to do that for as long as she did. So I'm sure there's mixed emotions involved, and you'll have to talk to her about that. I think as far as our team goes, I think they handled today and prepping for them really well. I think they know the high caliber team that this team is, and the history that these two programs are developing against each other. We're seeing each other quite a bit as the season goes on, and especially late into to try to get to the postseason, and they know the importance of it. So I don't know that adds to it. I think it's already they're pretty focused going into this week.
It's good.
What does she bring on the bench? I mean,
Kate?
How does she connect with the players? What do you see in her interactions with the players?
Yeah, I think Kate does all of our coaches do, but if you're asking about Kate, I think she does a really good job of connecting with them and in game, because this is an adjustment for her too, to be out of coaching now for 6 years. Then you take the previous 15 and she was a head coach. So you're looking at over 2 decades ago, she was an assistant. So it was a couple conversations that we had. How is she going to adjust to that new role? And a lot of it was talking about, here's what I think I need from you. And a big one was communicating with those players when they come off the floor. And sometimes you can see her pumping confidence into players. You can see her just telling them the truth and telling them right where they're at, but they really respect her. You can tell that they're looking right at her and they're nodding. And I think her resume speaks for itself and what she's been able to accomplish. But I've been really pleasantly surprised at all of our coaches. But I saw Kate right from the start. You could tell she missed the relationship side of coaching because she got to work on that right away. She loved just hanging out after practice and talking with the players and getting in there early and asking how their families are. You could tell she wanted to build relationships with them right away. And I think that this is the time of year where that stuff pays off.